Hey everyone. Well, it's 8 o'clock, and it's Tuesday, so that means it's time for another Choose Your Own Adventure. This one's called Exiled to Earth. It's Choose Your Own Adventure number 87, and it's written by R.A. Montgomery. And it's the special school edition, too. Wow. That's amazing. Here's a closer look at the front cover. And then we'll read the back, like we usually do. You're the star. 15 exciting endings. Can you survive on the planet of curiosity? I guess that's what Earth is called. When you and your friend Og are discovered exploring the forbidden lost region on your home planet of Orca, you are brought before the Supreme Senate. The Orcan elders sentence the two of you to travel to a small planet known as both the planet of curiosity and Earth. Once aboard your spaceship, you must make a choice. Will you program the ship to land in a place called China, or will you decide to land in the United States of America instead? Okay. If you decide to land in China, turn to page 51. If you decide to land in the United States of America, turn to page 69. But watch out. You might be attacked by a group of soldiers, or you might bring peace to a war-riddled Earth and become heroes on both planets. I guess that didn't actually happen. What happens next in the story? It all depends on the choices you make. How does the story end? Only you can find out. And the best part is that you can keep reading and rereading until you've had not one, but many incredibly daring experiences. We have been sentenced to the worst fate imaginable. Earth, yeah. Oh, hi, Stephanie. Hi, Rachel. Yeah, maybe we can destroy the Earth. I'm not totally against that. All right. And this originally cost $2.50. And kids can't stop reading the Choose Your Own Adventure stories. And teachers really like them too. Hey Rob, how many ways can we be exiled? A lot. I mean, being exiled to Earth is pretty terrible. So, I don't know, I can't think of a worse fate than that. There we are in our spacesuit. And, right, illustrated by Frank Bowl. I don't know if that means just the internal cover. Yeah, there we go. Cover art by Victoria Lissy and interior illustrations by Frank Bowl. Originally published January 1989. Let's definitely not go to China. There's an old Vulcan proverb, only Nixon could go to China. All right. Warning. Do not read this book straight through from beginning to end. These pages contain many different adventures that you may have as a native of the planet Orca. From time to time, as you read along, you will be asked to make a choice. Your choice may lead to success or disaster. Each adventure you take is the result of your choice. You are responsible because you choose. After you make a choice, follow the instructions to see what happens to you next. Think carefully before you make a decision. You and your best friend Og have been warned not to enter the lost region, a forbidden zone full of unknown dangers. You may wind up on an interplanetary spacecraft headed for Earth. Good luck. I think that's what happens, right?
Hey.
What?
Groceries.
Oh, groceries. Oh, sorry, everybody.
You don't have to
Groceries
do it.
are here.
You don't have to do it. But
I know.
I just want to make sure, sorry about the noise.
Somebody, I want to read one of these straight through from beginning to end. That would be very confusing.
And Miss Kitty's out here.
The DU military is definitely going to shoot us immediately in the face, yeah. That could happen. You and your best friend Og are in the way far back, a patch of wilderness on the planet Orca. Orca's environment is similar to Earth's, but its civilization is much more advanced. And even an advanced civilization can become dull, especially for a young Orcan like yourself. You and Og were curious, so, despite warnings from the planet's elders, You began to explore the way far back wilderness. Now, you and Og are hiking in the direction of the Lost Region, a forbidden zone full of unknown dangers. You reach the border of the Lost Region, and then follow a path almost completely overgrown with dense vegetation. Yeah, we can't spend the whole book on Orca. That would be better. Well, it's an advanced civilization, so we wouldn't have to worry about dealing with all the crazy messed up stuff on Earth. Is the planet shaped like a whale? Orca, I keep thinking of like Mork and Mindy, and like Orc, like the Orkans. Mork, actually, no, they Mork from Orc. It was Orc, but not right. We love you, Og. Lothar of the Hill People. When I think of Og, I just think of like, yeah. Anyways, all right, let's turn to page 6. Hi, Sean. Young orcas like to stray from the pod. That's true. They do that. They've been known to do that. After several minutes, you come to a swirling river. Should we swim it? Og looks at you apprehensively. The current looks pretty strong, you say, after watching the swirling river rapidly carry a log downstream. I've also heard rumors that some of the rivers in the Lost Region are infested with orcan-eating green fish. You and Og see some logs on the riverbank and decide to make a raft to cross the river. You cut sturdy vines from a Chihuahua tree to tie the logs together. As you lift the end of one log, a large eyeball pops open and stares at you. You're trying to lift an orcan crocodile. You drop it quickly and run. Why do we have to keep calling them that they're orcan this and orcan that? We're on the planet Orca, so obviously they're orcan, right? That's kind of doesn't need to be said, but all right, turn to page 11. Oxy log poetry. You and Og see some logs in the bog with the frogs. What the hell is going on? I don't know. We're in the Lost Region or something. We're going on an adventure with our best friend Og. You and Og scramble up the nearest Chihuahua tree and barely escape the crocodile's snapping jaws. You wait in the tree until the crocodile slithers off back into the river. From your perch in the Chihuahua tree, you and Og notice some fruit hanging from the upper branches. The Chihuahua mango is delicious, and you're both starving. You climb to the top of the tree and pick the fruit. Mango! Gotta have a mango! You approach the Earthian man outside the Earthian house. Just in case you're not sure that you're on Earth. Chihuahua is my favorite convenience store in Orca. Yeah, I gotta go to Chihuahua. All right. As you lean forward to pick another mango, you see in the distance 4 black walls rising out of a clearing in the jungle. You and Og eat the delicious fruit, then decide to hike in the direction of the black walls and explore the area. 45 minutes later, you and Og are standing in the clearing. The black walls are mysterious and foreboding. A sign warns, "Trespassers, keep out." But you and Og are too curious to pay attention to a sign. You must figure out what's hidden behind the black walls. Don't we all? Turn to page 21. Gotta find out what's beyond those black walls. Oh, I can figure out how to turn pages first. Okay. As you approach the nearest wall, you hear a rustling in the bushes. You turn quickly. Out of the bushes dash 3 giant warthogs. How come they didn't call them orcan warthogs? Just to make sure that we know that they're not Earther warthogs. You and Og try to run back into the jungle, but your escape is blocked by more giant warthogs heading in your direction. You turn again and run back towards the black walls, looking for some way to escape. Wow, those are pretty big warthogs. Is this your first time here? The warthogs are actually aliens. Well, and of course it's going to become racist. Yeah, I'm sure the racism will show up at some point. This being an early 90s choose your own adventure book. It's always fun to re-explore the stuff we read as kids and then realize all the racist stuff that they were feeding us. And then we can re-examine it and be like, wow, that was pretty messed up. 40 to 50 feral warthogs. Og grabbed logs but ran into hogs. Yep, he did. Og spots an old door with a large, rusty lock. You pull on the door, but the lock holds fast. The giant warthogs are nearly upon you. They're so close that you can see every hairy wart on the surface of their skins. You pick up a rock and bash the lock. Wow, that actually did rhyme. It breaks off. Quickly you enter through the door and pull it shut, just in time to prevent the warthog's razor-like tusks from carving you up. Whoa. After you and Og catch your breath, you walk through a short, rock-strewn tunnel that comes out into a sunlit courtyard. Look! Cries Og in astonishment. At first the courtyard looks like an ordinary junkyard, but then you see that it's filled with old space warships. They're scattered everywhere. Page 15. Yeah, warthogs have feelings too, dude. I'm talking about, like, all the warts on their faces. Come on. Pick up a rock and bash the lock so you and Og can escape the hogs. 40 to 50 feral hogs. Oh, I actually forgot about that meme. I gotta go look that up again. I just remember that being really funny. You took a trip and found a ship. He's high on the internal rhyme in this book, that's for sure. Since the war ended on Orca light years ago, isn't a light year just the distance light travels in a year? Okay, never mind. The only space warships you've ever seen are those in Orcan history books. You and Og explore the old fort and the warships as Orca's sun sets in the east. You discover an old monolith overgrown with vegetation. You and Og clear it off and read the inscription, Fort Triumphant. You remember from your history books that Triumphant was the last of the space forts that guarded Orca from hostile enemies. As sophisticated defense systems were invented, the old forts became obsolete and were torn down. Fort Triumphant, though, had been preserved as a monument to Orcans who had lost their lives in the space wars. But after light years had passed, the elders felt even the memory of the space wars was too painful, and Fort Triumphant had been abandoned to rot in the jungle of the lost region. You decide to camp out in the fort overnight and explore it in the morning. Do we ever go to Earth? Maybe not. We just stay on Orca, maybe. You read volumes of Lorca as you travel across Orca. Sing that song to Loki with dog words. It's great first tag. Fits on your back. The hog. Yeah. I feel like they're using like the term light years like in the wrong way in this. Because that is not like. It's not. A light year is still just a year. Alright, page 5. Why am I not going to page 5? Alright. You and Og are awakened at dawn the next morning by a strange humming sound coming from one of the spaceships. The two of you slowly approach the ship, then step inside. There, the humming is louder. This looks like an old-fashioned throttle lever, Og says. On the old spaceships, you gain altitude by pulling on it. Og gives the throttle a light yank, and the spaceship quivers slightly. Quivers a little bit. Moments later, the spaceship stops humming. It must run on solar energy, you say. When the sun shines on the solar pods, it activates the spaceship's systems. The spaceship starts humming again. I guess the elders forgot to deactivate it, you say, as the humming grows louder. Like, why are we in a spaceship that's, like, humming? A light year yank? I could have called them orcs, that's true. What a missed opportunity that was. Now here we are on the spaceships, a closer view of that. Yeah, illustrations are pretty good. Turn to page 10. Do you think it can still fly? Says Og. You've been wondering the same thing, or whether you should try to start the spaceship. If the ship won't start, and you can't fly out of Fort Triumphant, you may have to face the giant warthogs again. Oh yeah, I forgot about those. On the other hand, if the ship does fly, it may break down in flight because it's so old, and you could crash back to Orca. Well, that's... Both of those options sound very unappealing. Is Og the one who looks like Corey Haim? I think so. I think... Oh, you know what? No, this must be Og. Because he is the one... I assume it's a he. It's kind of hard to tell with the name Og. Is holding the throttle. So that must be us. Okay. Alright, if you try to leave Fort Triumphant the way you came in, turn to page 14. If you try to start the spaceship to fly out, turn to page 2. When he gets to Earth, they're going to call him the OG. Grandma OG. Grandma Og. Yeah, well, if we go back out the way we came in, don't we just like get carved up by the razor sharp tusks of the warthogs? So we should fly. Anyone else think we should not fly? Anyone think we should not fly? Fort Triumphant sounds ominous. Yeah, sounds very non-triumphant. It's most non-triumphant. Party on, dudes. Okay. Fly, you fool. Fly, you fools. All right, page 2. After you and Og are secured in your seats, you pull back the throttle of the spaceship. The ship begins to rumble. Then it lifts off the ground. Pull the throttle back farther. Let's zoom out of here, Og yells. I don't want to give it too much juice, you shout over the rumble. This thing's pretty old. I don't know if it can take the extra power. I cannot give you any more power, Captain. You and Og begin to gain altitude. You hover over the fort, then slowly begin to fly in the direction of the way far back and civilization. Hey, this runs pretty smoothly for an old bucket of rust, you say, as the spaceship glides over the trees towards the coast. It sure does, Og agrees. Give it a little more power. Let's see what it can do. You push the throttle forward, and the spaceship levels out and picks up speed. Within seconds, you've passed Mach 1. Isn't Mach 1 like the speed of sound? So shouldn't it be like Orcan Mach 1? Because the speed of sound would probably be different on Orca than it is on Earth, but okay. You and Og howl with laughter. Suddenly, the ship starts to vibrate badly. The throttle barely responds when you pull on it. You lose altitude rapidly. Ahead, you see the coastline and the sea. You and Og both yank on the throttle and desperately try to guide the spaceship back to land. We're not going to make it, screams Og. Og's like pretty high strung. Page 12. The ship skims over the water and comes to a stop. It's still in one place, and so are you. Shouldn't that be one piece? I don't know. Not in one place, right? Like, well, of course we're in one place. Oh, okay. But the spaceship is sinking rapidly. You and Og quickly escape and swim to shore. When you reach the shore, a beach patrol of the Orcan Coast Guard is waiting for you. We think you'd better come with us to see the elders, says the captain of the beach patrol. If you go before the elders of the Supreme Orcan Senate, they might find out that you were trespassing in the Lost Region, a forbidden zone, and you could get into real trouble. On the other hand, the elders must have been young once themselves. Maybe you should chance their remembering. Space police are dicks too. Yeah, we got look at this guy. If this planet is all like peaceful and doesn't have war anymore, then why do they need like space police that like have like a gun and like a baton and like all this other stuff, right? Our planet got rid of war a long time ago. We just have these dudes. Just Just have these like military police officers, yeah. That what you gonna do? But they do look like yeah, no body cam, RoboCops. If you try to make a run for it, turn to page 3. If you decide to go with the beach patrol, turn to page 8. This like sounds like so like unmenacing. Beach patrol. he's wearing that helmet that they tried to sell the Star Trek merch. Yeah, he's got a space. He's got a space belt, space pockets. He's got a Orkin pockets and a Orkin belt. Oh, okay. They just vaporize anyone who's suspicious, and then, yeah, then crime doesn't happen. You're not killing someone because they committed a crime, because you're doing it before they committed the crime, so they never committed the crime. Run. So Rachel says we should run. Make a run for it. Run for it, Marty. Why not go with the authority figure? Yeah, what could possibly go wrong? David Hasselhoff is space cop at the beach. Space Baywatch. Yeah, I was thinking like beach patrol. It sounds like something from Baywatch. If we run, we're getting vaporized. I guess we should go with the authority figure. We probably will get vaporized if we try to run for it. All right. Page 8. All roads lead to vapor. Oh, here we go. Page 8. The captain of the beach patrol marches you and Og into the Senate building. He leaves you in a waiting room while he reports to the elders. 20 minutes later, he comes back. It's your turn now, he says with a big smile. You and Og stand in the open doorway to the chamber of the elders. The Supreme Orkin Senate sits behind an oval table made of volcanic glass. The leader speaks. Enter, she commands. You and Og walk silently into the room. We, the Supreme Senate, feel that you too are slaves to your curiosity. And curiosity can often get you into dangerous situations. If you agree to give up your curiosity and behave as do normal Orkins, you are free to resume your lives in Orkin society. You and Og glance at each other. You imagine Og thinking the same thing you are. If you agree to give up your curiosity, you won't be able to visit the way far back again. But if you don't agree, what will happen? I wonder what will happen. It's a total mystery, even though the name of the book is Exiled to Earth. No idea. This person doesn't look that old. I mean, that person looks kind of old, but I don't know. I guess, well, I mean, to a 12-year-old, everyone's an elder, so. They're so old. They're like 30. I'm a slave for you, Og. Like, do they have a device to remove our curiosity? How do they confirm this? They probably do have a device that removes our curiosity. What I'm hearing is assimilate. Yep. Apparently, our curiosity was already supposed to be removed at birth, but something happened. That's why we're friends, because like we're like both aberrations that didn't have our curiosity removed like it should have been. So, and that's how they find out that something went wrong. You didn't have your curiosity removed, is when you go to the way far back and stuff. If you give up your curiosity, you won't care what happens. True. So if you agree to give up your curiosity, turn to page 18. If you refuse to give up your curiosity, turn to page 41. Rachel, Facebook just offered to translate this from Croatian. I'm celebrating for you. Oh man. Thinks it's well. Maybe that's what they speak on Orca. They actually speak Croatian. So refuse. Refuse. I think we should refuse, right? We're not giving up our curiosity. All right. No way. Page 41. Page 41. Okay. I cannot give up my curiosity, you say, just as I cannot stop breathing. I'm sorry that this displeases you. The leader of the Supreme Senate turns to you and speaks in a faint whisper. I am the Senate. No, she doesn't say that. Tell us, why are you so curious? Aren't all young people, you ask? Has anyone led you astray? No, no one. Have you been in touch with other beings? You mean from other planets? No. Have you been reading any strange books? No, only what's allowed, what's in the library. Have you gone exploring in the way far back? Yes, with my friends. We like the way far back. And did you go beyond, into the lost region? Well, it is simple, yes or no. Did you or did you not enter the lost region? You glance at Og, then at the elders. If you say, yes, we did go to the lost region, turn to page 22. If you say, no, we didn't go to the lost, I don't even know what the lost region is, turn to page 35. Super creepy. Did you read any strange books? No, because you banned all those books. We can't read them. They're not the libraries anymore. We've been reading strange books with multiple endings where you don't read them all the way through from beginning to end. Exile! Lie. Say no. Say no. All right. Well, lie. Say no. We didn't go to we didn't go to the lost region. No, I didn't enter the lost region, you say. As you utter this lie, images of Fort Triumphant flash through your mind. The abandoned spaceships and war artifacts still intrigue you. You no longer feel intimidated by the Supreme Senate. You take a deep breath. No, that's not the truth, you say. Then you tell them the truth, that your curiosity led you to the abandoned fort. They listen in stony silence until you've finished. And you, Og, you went with your friend of your own free will? Asks one of the elders. Yes, venerable one. I was as curious as my friend, Og admits. The elders confer for a few minutes, and then the oldest member addresses you. You are both brave, resourceful, and bright. But we worry that your curiosity will prevent you from adjusting to normal Orcan life. We have therefore decided to send you both to the planet of curiosity, Earth. Well, we gave ourselves up. I feel like they used some weird truth serum stuff on us, Like suddenly we're like, I'm just going to tell you guys the truth. Yeah, that was not a choice, Rachel. No. I went to the U of Og for my undergrad. Yeah, that was a total fake choice. That was a fake. Turn to page 25. Though the elders don't suspect it, you're excited by the chance to go to the planet Earth, the planet of curiosity. Your youth won't be wasted there, you think. Now, you two will be Orcan ambassadors, the leader of the Supreme Senate says. I warn you, it will not be a picnic. We have sent many ambassadors to Earth over the last 13,000 years. What happened, you ask? Did the Earthlings welcome them? Not exactly, the leader replies mysteriously. They all got killed. Probably. You wonder what she means by that. But you know better than to let your curiosity show by asking. Why? What do we have to lose now? They know that we don't want to give our curiosity. This is about Mork from Orc. Yeah, this is how it got started. He was one of the ambassadors that they sent to Earth. Maybe it is. So do we age backwards then? So if we're kids, does that mean we're actually we're really old? No, it couldn't be, because Orcans age backwards. They nailed him to a tree and founded a religion. Yeah, that's probably what happened. How are we to be introduced to Earth, Og wants to know. Will they believe we are who we say we are? You can carry diplomatic documents and approach one of the major governments. Or, one of the senators explains, if you wish, you can go to Earth as what you are. young adventurers. You would be ambassadors in disguise, as it were. You and Og briefly discuss your options. And here we are with the Supreme Senate, the Supreme Galactic Senate. If you want to be formally introduced to one of Earth's governments, turn to page 38. If you want to go to Earth as an adventurer, turn to page 16. We'll give you fake IDs. It's like, how's that going to help us? Like, here, I'm an alien. I've got an ID and everything. So you should definitely believe me. Yeah, Earth is so friendly to immigrants, so like, we'll have no problem. So, yeah, do we just want to go as adventurers? Adventures? Rachel says we want adventures. Or we can be formally introduced to one of Earth's governments and then promptly dissected and kept confined to some kind of military base or something. Let me buy beer for all my aliens. That's some weird little Indiana Joneses. That sounds good. Yeah, we're going to do some adventures. Page 16. Our chances of exploring Earth will probably be better if we just go unofficially, you say. Okay with you, Og? Og hesitates, then agrees. Much later, you and Og are on an interplanetary spacecraft headed for Earth. You're the only life forms aboard. It'll be okay, Og. You'll see. We'll blend right in. Oh, sure. We'll blend right in, you say. Did you ever take a look at yourself in a mirror? Come on, Og. Of course I have. Well, Earthlings aren't exactly walking around dressed in bright silver spacesuits with space helmets, at least not according to the satellite pictures we have of them. You're right, I forgot. So how are we going to blend in? We'll fake it, you reply. Besides, the elders must have foreseen this problem. Let's see what kinds of costumes they put aboard. Okay, yeah, so we're not going to walk around wearing spacesuits. Okay. That would be kind of cool. Yeah, some of us do. Some people walk around in spacesuits. Yeah, like, why are we so tiny? Like, our heads are, like, way too big for our bodies. Yeah, we're going to do a space fashion show now. Well, so they've been visiting Earth for, what, 30,000 years or 16,000 years? So probably, like, pick some outfits that are, like, from 300 years ago. We totally won't stand out now. Turn to page 30. You and Og disengage your seat restraints. After checking your instrument panel to make sure the atmospheric conditions inside the ship have adjusted to deep space conditions, you remove your spacesuits. A quick search of the spaceship reveals a storage closet full of Earthling-style clothing. They all look the same to me, you say, reviewing sample costumes from the many Earth cultures. Oh well, let's see what we look like. You and Og start trying on different articles of clothing. Finally, you decide on blue jeans and sweaters. That sounds pretty boring. The computer informs you that young people all over Earth wear this costume. Really? All over Earth. Young people all over Earth are just wearing blue jeans and sweaters. That's what they all wear. Yep. There's the racism. We found it. Man, I was starting to get worried that we wouldn't find any. We all wear blue jeans now. Oh man. As you're about to close the storage closet, you spot a small round box. You open it and then hand it to Og. Let's take this with us, you say. It might come in handy as a gift to the Earthlings. Didn't they try to give a gift to the Earthlings on the day the Earth stood still? That worked out really well. Turn to page 40. I got shot for it. Yeah, we're not even on Earth yet, and there's already some racism. Like, why wait until we get to Earth for that? Get started early on that. As soon as your spacecraft reaches beyond Orca's gravitational pull, you get to work checking the ship's computer library on Earth history. You're amazed at the number of different places you have to choose from as a landing site. How do we decide? Og moans. There are too many countries. Let's go for one of the biggest, or the most powerful, you say. These Earthlings have a pretty high opinion of themselves, most powerful. Okay, Og agrees. This place called China looks pretty big. We could try landing there. Or how about this one? The USA. They call themselves a superpower, he says. You have to decide quickly. Your uneventful voyage has been so swift, you're almost entering Earth's atmosphere. Well, that was pretty fast. We just left Orca's gravitational pull a second ago. Just do New Jersey like in 1938. Oh, that'll go great. And we find out we have no defense against Earth's bacteria or something. I want us to die, so let's go to the U.S. If you decide to land in China, turn to page 51. If you decide to go to the USA, turn to page 69. 69, dudes. Okay. Yeah, let's kick the racism into high gear. Not China. Does anyone want to go to China? No, not China. Yeah, there's going to be... I mean, if you want to get the racism right away, I'm sure going to China is probably the best thing. But let's go to the most powerful country. USA. USA. We're number 1. All right, page 69. The USA, you tell Og. The computer tapes say it's a young, aggressive, and idealistic country. But I've also heard it's always in trouble, you add. Maybe there are too many problems to solve, Og suggests. Well, let's have a look. You and Og guide your spacecraft to within a mile of the Earth's surface. You crisscross the country at megasonic speed, from San Francisco to New York City, Detroit to Dallas. It looks a lot like Orca, Og comments. It does. I didn't expect that. Finally, you end up over Washington, D.C. Your computer briefing has pointed Washington out as the center of government, although it indicated New York City as a formidable power base as well. New York City is a formidable power base. That is true. Yeah, blame the people. It's just so many problems. They've got so many problems, you know? It's if they just didn't have all those problems, then things would be so much better for them. You set your controls for a slow descent to Earth. The aggressive part is spot on, alien dude, yeah. Reagan is president, so they're definitely in Pittsburgh. Well, this is early 90s, so I'm not sure if it would be Bush or... yeah, I think it would be still Bush. But, yeah, I mean, Reagan, pretty much. Just Reagan's third term, pretty much. Oh, no, 1989. I stand corrected. No, it's still Reagan. Let's not forget Hollywood, where the deals are really made. Yep. No, we're not. Maybe we'll go to Hollywood. All right, page 46. As you draw closer to Washington, D.C., the airspace below you begins to fill with craft that you recognize as ancient fighter jets. You maneuver your spaceship, aiming it at a large open space near a needle-like projection in the middle of the city. At the same time, you push a button on your computer console. A message of friendship is broadcast on all light and sound waves. You descend to 200 feet and stop. The air around you is cluttered with bug-like flying machines. Above you fly the squadrons of winged aircraft. On the ground, hundreds of people dressed in uniforms are waiting for you. Oh, looks like they're just there to say hello. Wait, I thought we were going there as adventurers and kind of like incognito and stuff. Like, it's not exactly keeping a low profile here. Klaatu Barado Nikto. Just like I thought. I was like, this is going to be like the day the Earth stood still? No, this picture does not look promising. No. With this gift, he could have visited the outer planets. Why can't stealth? We didn't promise to be secret adventurers, just adventurers. A cat-shaped spaceship. Yep, page 27. Oh man. Secret. Let's go, Og, you say, activating the descender beam. Everyone is here to greet us. A ray of soft purple light stretches from your ship to the ground. The crowd utters an amazed, "Oh!" You and Og begin your descent, but you never reach the ground. Why not? Because everyone rushes towards us to greet us and give us a hug. Page 58. The people in uniforms point pieces of long, hollow metal at you. You hear popping sounds and watch a small, sharp-pointed metal zip by. You and Og smile at this strange method of greeting. Then, one of the sharp-pointed metal pieces slams into Og, and Og tumbles off the descender beam. Before you can react, 3 of the metal pieces strike you. As you crash to Earth, you hear a voice say, "I'm sure my bullets got both of them." Bullets? You've never heard of them. What are bullets, you wonder? It's the last question you ever ask. The end. Wow, so when they said that the U.S. was pretty violent, they were not kidding. We basically went to the U.S. The U.S. immediately murders us. Accurate, yep. Oh, man. So that means we actually should have gone to China? There was like no way out of that. Was there? No. Page 69 and page 46. Yeah, no. So we're basically being forced to go to China. All right. Wow, that's pretty heavy for like a kid to read. Like it's basically telling the kid that yeah, if you were an alien and you went to the U.S., like you would get killed immediately. So you'd be better off going to China. Wow. If you were an alien, I mean. All right, well, I guess we're going to China, everyone. Unless we want to go back and like make some other choices, but I feel like Doomed in America too realistic. Had to take a phone call. We got Stephanie. We got killed immediately by these things called bullets. We'd never seen bullets before or guns because like Orca is so peaceful. So we thought they were all there to greet us when there was a crowd of people wearing uniforms there, and they were actually there to shoot us. So yeah. So if we don't want to die, we have to go to China. Yeah, despite spending so many cops in his books, Montgomery can be subversive. Blam, 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 3 to the chest. All right. All right. China it is, Og says, agreeing with your choice. And just in time. We're entering Earth's atmosphere. Og fiddles with the directional navigator. The thing that interests me about China is its history, you say. It's an old culture, at least in Earth terms. So, big deal. It's old. What's that got to do with us? Og asks. I think an older culture that's seen it all, wars, revolutions, success, famine, would be more receptive to our message. And just what is our message? Og asks. Yeah, it's going to be bad, but in a different way. Or we could go back and like officially like reveal ourselves to Earth's governments or one of their governments. No, we're already doing the China thing, I guess. So, page 70. Just realized that was also an option. Page 70. That catches you unaware. Now you think about it, you aren't really certain what the Supreme Orcan Senate wants you to achieve on Earth. Peace? Harmony? Is that what Orca is about, you ask yourself? Maybe all Earthlings need is time. Time will lead to peace and harmony. But you wonder if Earth has enough time. I don't know, Og. I guess we'll just have to play it as it comes. Well, we better start playing pretty soon. We're in Chinese airspace and they know it, Og exclaims. Turn to page 39. Well, yeah, I guess they do know it. Since they're like flying right outside. If we don't know bullets, are we about to learn about communism? Yeah. Oh man, are we going to land in Tiananmen Square? Yeah, 1989. Earth does not have enough time. It does not. We're here to stop Earth from being curious. We stopped being curious a long time ago, and it worked for us. We want to teach you guys how to not be so curious. Little red book for a little red planet. I don't know how he knows it. That's Og. He just knows that what Chinese airspace is. 39. You're in scattered clouds, 26,000 feet above ground, when your ship is surrounded by Chinese fighter ships. You notice that they're old-fashioned crafts with wings, but they still look powerful. Suddenly you receive a transmission. Identify yourselves. Repeat, identify yourselves. The voice barks over your radio. Friendlies, you transmit back on the same frequency. From the planet Orca and the Heraclean system. More aircraft join the original fighters. They circle you in graceful, slow arcs. Follow us. Do not make any hostile or unplanned moves. We wish to believe you. Wow, they didn't kill us right away. That's so far so good. The descent through the clouds is brief, and you emerge over a rolling, treeless terrain dotted with small villages. It's agricultural land. The fighters direct you to a military base with a landing field. Looks okay to me, Og says hopefully. I hope so, you reply uncertainly. Friendlies, here for a watermelon roll. We're here. Well, no, actually, I think it means we want to go to Friendlies. Is there a Friendlies in China? Friendlies from Orca, like Denny's from Mars? Yes. Yeah, we don't know what bullets are, but we know what fighter ships are. With wings. Turn to page 33. Your spacecraft hovers above the landing field as you and Og prepare to disembark via the descender beam. When you're standing on Earth, you find yourselves facing a group of military people armed with archaic weapons. An officer steps forward, extending his hand in what is apparently a welcome signal. Og grabs you by the arm. Don't trust them. I've got a bad feeling about this. Let's get out of here, he says. It's a little too late now, I think, but okay. If you agree with Og's feeling, turn to page 44. If you ignore Og's plea, turn to page 67. Like we're already like on the ground now, surrounded by people with weapons. We'd be like, yeah, let's run away now. These people seem okay. I mean, they're not pointing the weapons at us, at least, like they did in the U.S., so that's a big improvement. Archaic weapons can clearly still kill us, yes. I've got a bad feeling about this, kid. Archaic weapons. The things that shoot these things called bullets. Ignore Og's plea. Yeah. Let's run for it. Og's plea. I love that book. That was a good book. All right, yeah. So we'll ignore Og's plea. Page 67. Og is psychic. I mean, he has a bad feeling about it, but I don't think. Page 67. They won't hurt us, Og. Come on. You tug at your friend's sleeve. You go first, Og replies. All right. You walk forward with your arm outstretched and grasp the hand of the Chinese officer. We are from the planet Orca, and we're happy to see you. Please accept this as a symbol of our friendship. You reach into your pocket, but you don't find what you're looking for. You turn to Og and whisper frantically, Where's the box? What did we do with the gift? Oh, that! Og hardly searches his pockets. He breathes a sigh of relief as he pulls the box from his pocket and hands it to you. You open the box and remove an Orcan crystal. It's a little smaller than a baseball, perfect in shape and form. How is it that we know what a baseball is? Just wondering. Just curious about that. Grok the Og. Do you grok, Og? I grok. Let's run and get this over with. Oh, sorry, Bob. We didn't run. Yeah, that probably would have been better. We could have gotten it over with. What's in the box? This crystal is a token of our friendship. You hand the crystal to the Chinese officer. Orkans have watched your planet for centuries. Perhaps we can help in these dangerous times. The officer stares at the crystal, then passes it around. You hear murmurs of awe and appreciation. Turn to page 34. Oh, they mean baseball. Oh, Spaceballs. Spaceball is the flamethrower. Merchandising. Oh, where is page 34? There we go. We accept your beautiful token of friendship, the Chinese leader says. It is a good sign that you have chosen a crystal. We believe that the clarity of a crystal predicts the future. The officer bows slightly, speaks to his aides, and then addresses you. China is an ancient culture. We have long recognized the changing seasons, the progress from childhood to old age, the rise and fall of nations. Perhaps you can help this world in its great cycle. We'll try, you say. Hope they don't talk like that kind of seems very much stereotype where they're talking like stuff out of a fortune cookie all the time. You don't think Chinese people actually believe that? Yeah, probably. Yeah, token Chinese. We have Confucius say, and then so on. Yeah. I got a bad. That's what. Maybe that's the bad feeling that Og had, was that we're going to find some racism. Page 7. Later, after you've secured your spacecraft to prevent anyone from entering or damaging it out of curiosity, you and Og travel across the Chinese countryside. It's a long journey on narrow, unpaved roads. Yes, because all of China is just like unpaved roads, right? And farmland. You travel through farmland and small towns. The people are poor, but industrious, and their mood is one of hope. Finally, you arrive in an ancient city with many palaces, gardens, and beautiful woodwork. As you enter the city, you experience a feeling of harmony and well-being. Welcome! We are glad that you came, your guide tells you. Many of our leaders will come to talk with you. You may stay here as our guests for as long as you wish. Stay in peace. You and Og exchange glances. You both know you'll stay as long as necessary, but then you plan to move on. There are a lot more governments on Earth, and now you're curious to meet with them all. The end. Well, that was kind of, I mean, it was okay, but it's good to see that China is just all farmland and small towns. I mean, in 1989, they had obviously they had big cities and things like that. I don't know. Do we want to try and walk the earth like Kane from Kung Fu? This place is full of losers. Let's bail. These people are lame. All about peace and harmony. Oh, do we want to try being formally introduced to one of Earth's governments? Maybe that might be fun. 'Cause we got killed right away when we went to the U.S. And China was just didn't really have anything for us to do. Yeah, maybe we'll do that. Be formally introduced to one of the Earth's governments. Page 38. Maybe that'll be more of an adventure. So we wanted to go to the Earth as an adventurer, and we didn't really go on any adventures. Maybe this will be more of an adventure. I guess it's better to be introduced to one of their governments, you say. But why is there more than one? There's a burst of laughter in the great hall. It is a young planet, the oldest elder tells you and Og. Its people are fighting all the time. They do not trust each other, so be wary of whom you trust. They never agree on anything, so one government is not enough. Now there are two, nor 100. Earth's political system is a haphazard mishmash. Unless you two set them straight, the Earthlings may blow themselves out of their universe. Aren't we all in the same universe, though? You feel a sense of mission, of importance, of destiny. You risk asking another question. What are their problems? Isn't there enough food? Is it an impoverished planet? Is that their problem? No, it is a planet rich in everything. There is enough, more than enough. They just do not share. They are like little children squabbling over toys. Only their toys can kill. Turn to page 28. Their toys will kill. They have these things called... you think they could have told us about like bullets and guns and stuff like that before we went to Earth? Mishmashology. Yeah, China had as much to do as the author was willing to research, which was like no research at all. I think it's just agriculture and like farmland in China. That's pretty much it. You are given an envelope with the official Orkin seal of peace and a round box containing a gift for the Earthlings. Well, you're off now, one of the senators says. Good luck, and don't worry too much about the ones who never came back. The Senate has confidence that you will succeed. Don't worry about all those other people that got killed. You'll probably be fine. The ones that never came back? You and Og look at each other. What has your curiosity gotten you into this time, you wonder? Here's another fine mess you've gotten us into, Og. Well, I'm sorry. Turn to page 19. Here we are, we've got Og's holding the gift for the Earthlings, and we're holding our space passports. Page 19. The seal of peace eats too many fish. We should learn, we're learning never be curious. You and Og are led out of the Great Hall and taken to a diplomatic courier vehicle. It's a large, silvery, bowl-shaped craft about the size of a typical Orkin house or a football field on Earth. Rows of viewing ports encircle it. You and Og are the only ones on board. The craft is pre-programmed. You'll be able to control the ultimate landing site once the craft is in the Earth's atmosphere, but any other attempt to alter the flight plan will destroy the craft. If we're the only two people on board, why do we need a ship that's the size of a football field? But turn to page 40. Multipass. Yes, he knows it's a multipass. Now let's multipass. As soon as your spacecraft reaches beyond Orca's gravitational pull... Wait a minute. Hold on. Did this just give us the exact same options that we had before? Hold on, wait a minute. No. Come on. Come on, R.A. Montgomery. You wouldn't do that, would you? Hold on. So we went to page 38. We're like, yeah, we want to be introduced to Earth's governments. And then we went to 28. Then we went to page 19. Dude, this is the exact same... It took us the exact same page as the other option. Yeah, he's really slacking off. So we have the same options that we had before. Well, that's pretty lame. Alright, how do we get to some better adventures here? Wow, I feel like we were totally tricked here. Page 30. Alright. Maybe we need to make some other decisions. Montgomery had an alimony payment early. Give him some slack. Yeah. Slacking off. Alright. We will... Alright. Maybe let's agree to give up our curiosity. No, that's probably a bad idea. Right? We don't want to give up our curiosity. Maybe just tell the truth that we went to the Lost Region. He doesn't want us to make decisions, no. Alright, we'll just say yes. Honest. Be honest. Honesty is the best policy. Yes, we went to the Lost Region. Yes, I was in Fort Triumphant, Venerable One, you tell the Supreme Senate leader. All the elders in the chamber gasp. The leader shakes her head. Then she continues. Were you alone? She asks. You don't want to lie, yet you don't want to involve Og in whatever punishment is in store for you. I'm waiting for your answer, the elder says. Oh, you gotta bounce? That's okay, Rob. Let me know if this infinite time loop ever lets us out. Yeah, I'm trying. Like, we can get maybe have some kind of adventure on Earth or, like, be able to do something. Oh, I gotta go too. Okay. Well, thanks for dropping by. Sorry, it wasn't as adventurous as it usually is. Well, that's what happens when you get exiled to Earth. It's pretty crap. So we can either protect Og and go to page 36, or we can admit that Og was with us. Tried to lie, but it made us tell the truth, yeah. Do we really want to protect Og? I mean, Og's kind of a pain, I don't know. You know what? We're just going to admit that Og was with us. Og would... Oh, yeah, you're right. Og would protect Og? Ditch Og? Okay, we'll protect him. Og's a good friend. You're right. Rachel, I was gonna ditch Og, but... Yes, I was alone, you say. I didn't know that Fort Triumphant was forbidden, or that it was in the Lost Region. You say this with difficulty, since you're not used to lying. The Supreme Senate confers for several minutes. Then the leader speaks again. Your body and mind are vessels for an excessive curiosity. The best cure for you is a trip to Earth, the planet of curiosity. You turn and look at your friend. Og seems about to speak. You shake your head, warning Og to remain quiet. But Og doesn't seem to understand you. I went there too, Og shouts. I went to Fort Triumphant. You're like, Og, shut up, please. Og, don't say anything. Turn to page 63. The Supreme Senate huddles in conference. Then the leader speaks again. You, Og, must go with your friend, she says. The Senate wishes you both a speedy recovery. You may return to Orca when your curiosity has been sated. The two of you are led out of the chamber and marched to the transit port. There you're given spacesuits, loose-fitting, comfortable, and functional, and assigned to a drone survey ship which is preparing for a close-range Earth reconnaissance mission. Og smiles at you and gives you the traditional open-hand signal for good luck. The craft is cleared for departure. Why is Og giving us good luck if they're going with us? So shouldn't they also be wishing? Yeah, we're definitely used to lying. We lie all the time. Come on. Page 92. That seems like a different page than the pages we've gone to before. You and Og check your spacesuits and engage your seat restraints. The space traffic controller clears your craft for blastoff. The spaceship rumbles and takes off so quickly that you and Og are thrown back against your seats. You look out the viewing ports and watch Orca and home slowly slip away. This is the first time either of you has gone beyond the atmosphere of Orca. Suddenly, the booster rockets kick in, and the spaceship vibrates violently. A red warning light flashes on the control panel. "What's wrong?" Og asks. You can see panic in your friend's eyes. "I don't know," you respond as calmly as you can. You quickly spot the trouble. The auto-navigator has gone haywire. You'll have to pilot the spaceship manually, or you'll crash back to Orca. Oh no. That's not good. Here we are on the spaceship, panicking, trying to act normal. Page 78. You strain to reach the manual controls, but the G-force is too powerful. Your arm is pinned back to you as if your body were a magnet. The spaceship levels off. Then the nose begins to point down. You're hurtling back to Orca. If you don't take fast action, you and Og will perish in a ball of fire. You hear a voice coming through your helmet's radio. Og is trying to tell you something, but your helmet is vibrating so violently that you can't understand the words. Og points frantically at your feet. You look down and see a pedal. But what does it do, you wonder? If you step on the pedal, turn to page 45. If you hesitate, trying to think of something else to do, turn to page 85. Let's perish in a ball of fire. Let's just do it. Let's just die. I think Og's telling us to actually step on the pedal, right? He's not telling us to wait and hesitate. Yeah, just step on the pedal. No time to think about it. Just do it. That's what Og wants us to do. 45. When your foot hits the pedal, the engine shuts down immediately. And with the G-force no longer pinning you against your seat, you can reach the manual controls. You press buttons as quickly as you can, and Og hits the auxiliary power supply. The ship's nose slowly turns upward, and the spaceship starts to climb. When the spaceship is safely under control, you put it back on autopilot and let the computer set the course for Earth. Page 53. If you want to perish in a ball of fire, turn to page such and such. Yes. Let's all perish in a ball of fire. Finally, you enter Earth's atmosphere. Your spaceship descends in a slow arc, and then hovers above a beautiful stone pyramid in the midst of a scrubby jungle. "This is Mexico," Og tells you, reading from the computer display, "and we're over one of the ancient pyramids of the Mayan people. It's called Chichen Itza, which I'm not pronouncing correctly probably. Shall we descend now, or wait for dark?" Do we want to find the racism right away, or find it later? If you want to descend immediately, turn to page 66. If you want to wait for nightfall, turn to page 62. Oh, you've been there. Awesome. So you would know if am I pronouncing that right? Chichen Itza? Yeah. Descend immediately? Alright, let's descend immediately. Anyone think we should not descend immediately? I don't know why we'd wait till nightfall. The highs are like long E's, so Chichen. Oh, okay, Chichen Itza. Okay, thank you, Stephanie. Chichen Itza. No, page 66. Let's descend now, you say. I'm too curious to wait. Always so curious. Look at all those people down there, exclaims Og, pointing at the huge crowd gathered at the base of the pyramid. You ask the computer for more information and read it aloud to Og. It says here that Chichen Itza was the center of the Mayan culture hundreds of years ago. Now, people come from all over the world to see these pyramids. They are curious, just as we are. Well, they'll be our best friends then. Let me see, says Og, turning towards the display terminal. The Mayans disappeared, Og reads, but they left behind this magnificent, deserted, ceremonial site. You and Og admire the huge pyramid, with its stone steps leading to a platform at the top. It also says that the minds predicted the arrival of beings from outer space. That's us, Og declares proudly. Yes, they predicted that we would show up. Og, you interrupt your friend. I don't think these people are expecting us, you say, as you lower your spacecraft to within 100 feet of the pyramid. Turn to page 49. Your craft fills the sky and floods the ground with golden light. The crowd below gasps. Some run in terror, fleeing in cars and buses. Others stay, waiting for you and Og to emerge from the spaceship. Slowly and majestically, you and Og glide 100 feet down the descender beam to the top of the pyramid. The crowd utters a collective, "Oh," as the two of you begin to descend the steep stairs of the pyramid. That's when you realize you forgot one thing. What did we forget? We forgot the parking brake, so the ship crashes into the pyramid and destroys it, and all of us. No, that's not what happens. Did we forget the gift? Did we forget the crystal? You didn't diminish your aura energy. You and Og are surrounded by a visible field, a glowing mixture of white and orange light. But it's too late now to do anything about it. You walk halfway down the steps. "We bring you peace and friendship," you quote from the phrase tape the elders gave you when you left Orca. "We have journeyed to reach you. We wish to be of help to your world." The people stare at you as if hypnotized. You hope the elders knew what they were doing when they sent you and Og to Earth. The people here don't seem at all receptive to your message. Og looks nervously at you, waiting for some response. "Do not be afraid. We come on a mission of peace," you add. A woman steps forward from the base of people surrounding the base of the pyramid. From the mass of people surrounding the base of the pyramid. "If you speak the truth, send away your spacecraft and meet with us." Here we are coming down on the descender beam. Yeah, that's us specifically. They've been waiting for us this whole time. Yeah, curiosity killed us over and over, repeatedly. Curiouser and curiouser. Right, if you do what she suggests, turn to page 68. If you ask to meet with her on board your spacecraft, turn to page 82. Yeah, come on board a spacecraft. Definitely not scary. Should we ask them to go into our spacecraft? I mean, maybe she will. She's like, well, you can be on our spaceship, that would be better than just sending the spaceship away. Come on board. Yeah, if we send away our spaceship, can we get it back later? I have no idea. Or if they have valet parking, can we just have someone from the crowd hey, here's our spaceship keys, can you just go park it somewhere for us? Alright. We'll say, hey, come on board a spaceship. That would just be too much fun. Page 82. We would feel more comfortable in our spacecraft, you explain to the woman. Would you like to see it and speak to us there? All right, she replies. Can I come too? Asks the young man. Of course, Og replies. Anyone else care to come on board, you ask the crowd. No one moves, and there's a mumbling of voices. Finally, a man steps forward. My name's Becker. I'll go with you. Okay, Becker. Good, follow us, you reply. You and Og lead the way up the steps of the pyramid. They seem to trust us, Og whispers to you. Why shouldn't they, you remark, as you activate the ascender beam, and the five of you are transported up to the spaceship. Are we about to get space jacked? Page 55, they're gonna steal our spaceship? Come on board. Nope. Aboard your ship, the Earthlings are anxious, but not frightened. There is a moment of awkward silence. Many of us on Earth have hoped for contact with life from another planet, the woman begins. Things are happening so fast on our planet that we need your help. She pauses and looks at you and Og anxiously. Can you help us? We'll try, you respond together. Then, welcome, she says warmly. We're glad to be here, you say enthusiastically. We're curious to learn more about your planet. I'm curious too, says the young man. Who are you? You and Og smile. We're Orkans, you say. I guess you could say we're the first Orkan ambassadors to Earth. Well, we're not, though. We're just the first ones that, like, haven't been killed or something. The end. That's it. Like, none of this stuff actually, like, involves us having an adventure when we get to Earth. It's like, you get to Earth and then you tell them, we're on Earth now. And, yeah, that's a weird ending. Oh. Alright, well, man, we tried to find a good adventure to have here on Earth, but just was not successful. I gotta say, I was really curious to find some kind of adventure here on Earth, but couldn't find one. That was a weird ending. Well, I guess, yeah, he's phoning it in a little bit on this one, Rachel. It's like did not have the adventures that I thought we should have had here. And we spent like most of our time on Orca and like not enough time on Earth. Like we probably made more decisions on Orca than we did on Earth. Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I think I'm gonna stop here. Thought I'd read for a little bit. I usually stop around 9, but I thought I'd like read a little bit longer to see if we can get some kind of adventure. Oh, we could have had some adventures with some guerrilla fighters. So probably best that we didn't do that. If that was the only adventure that we could have had on Earth, probably best if we pass on that. Oh yes, it's called Exiled to Earth, not actually having any fun on Earth. Earth's not where you go for adventures. No adventures, yeah. Yeah, you know what? So maybe next week, maybe I'll read this one. South Pole Sabotage. So that'll probably be more of an adventure, like you're like with these grown adults, but they're having you pull a boat to the iceberg, you know, because you're the team leader for some reason. So yeah. So next week, I think I should have just read this one this week. Would have been more of an adventure. Oh well. All right. Well, yeah. So I guess I'll stop here, and hope you all. Wait. Does this mean we're sabotaging something at the South Pole? We're sabotaging the South Pole, or the South Pole is sabotaging us? Gosh, that's a good question. The cover looks so cool. That is this cover here. The only thing that's funny about it is like we're here, you know, obviously this is us, right? The kid, and where they're having us do like all the hard work. Like this, that guy's pulling I think that guy's pulling, he's pulling the rope too. Okay. So he's probably doing most of the work and he's just like letting us think we're helping when we're really not. Oh, you can tell that we're Americans because we're U.S. citizens and we've got the U.S. flag here on our jackets. It's kind of hard to see, but nope. Yeah. But that is a cool cover. I want a red jumpsuit too. So we're on was that the Pole Star? I guess I'm thinking that's our ship, and maybe the ship was sabotaged, and now the ship is sinking, and all we're left is with this little boat, and we're out in the middle of nowhere, like in the South Pole, with like no food or supplies or anything. So yeah, so that should be an adventure. That's what a choose your own adventure should be. It should be you actually go on an adventure and do stuff, not you know, you land, people go into your spaceship, and you said, well, you're on our spaceship now. The end. Yeah. R.A. Montgomery. Usually R.A. Montgomery has some good stories, but yeah, he was phoning that one in. Teaching us to pull a rope the way you would teach someone golf. So you pull on the rope, and then it comes towards you. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? Okay, good job. Oh, it'll be funny if like we didn't tie this knot correctly or something, and like we start pulling it towards us, and like instead it just like the knot gets undone, and the ship and the like boat just like that would be pretty funny. Now that would be a pretty good like you're basically like stranded now and like running out of food because like you didn't tie the knot correctly. Oh man, yeah. So yeah, I really wish I'd. I'm not going to read. I don't know. I don't want to. I try not to read too much ahead on these books. I want to be surprised about the adventure just as much as everybody else, or surprised at the lack of adventure just as much as everyone else. So yeah. But yeah, okay. Well, I thank you all for watching. Sorry it ran a little over, but tried to find some adventure. Thanks, Chris. It was fun. Yeah, we didn't have much fun on Earth. Well, you know, it's art imitates life sometimes. So, all right, Stephanie. Meow. Yeah. Oh, you hear that? Yeah. I think Dinah's been like, yeah, that was Dinah.
Begging.
Like begging for food, just in time. Meow. All right. All right. Well, I hope to see you all next Tuesday, if possible. And I don't even know where Dinah is.
She's on the.
Oh, where is she? Oh, she's on the perch. Yeah, she's in the spot where she gets her food. So she definitely.
Every time you say that, dude, her eyes get wide.
What
So,
food?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh man, now I have to give her. Now I have to go do it.
Yep.
Thanks. You're welcome, Rachel. That was all right. Well, I'm gonna take off and give Dinah some food now. Oh, whoops. Give Dinah something. So, see you in a week. Take care. Food. Food times for Dinah. Yep. See you guys.